What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV here, back again with another Tottenham update for you guys, and it's been a brilliant last 48 hours for all Tottenham fans out there in the transfer market. Moves are happening, moves are being made in, and it seems out as well. To help me pass through all the Tottenham news over the last 12 hours or so, it is Brian Daigle in the building. How are we doing, Brian?
We are doing great, mate. We are doing great at the moment. So I felt like Tony the Tiger there. Great is what I'm doing.
And that's I think that's the mood for a lot of Tottenham fans right now. We're all feeling very happy, and adding to the good news that has been happening for Tottenham over the last 24 hours or so. Obviously, one centre-back is set to come in, and it seems as though one centre-back is also set to go out, because Eric Dier, his move to Bayern Munich does seem to be done, according to Florian Plettenberg. Fabio Romero confirmed Bayern are set to sign Eric Dier from Spurs on a permanent deal, agreement to be sealed. He confirms that the Tottenham will receive slightly less than €4 million for Eric Dier, and Eric Dier the deal for Eric Dier is expected to be announced this afternoon, according to Maximilian, who's a journalist out in Germany. And we actually have a video of Dier arriving in Germany for his medical at Bayern Munich, and we'll bring that up now. You can see here, look how happy he looks. He looks absolutely ecstatic to be there, doesn't he? And no surprise, it's a massive move for him. Moving to a big club, really big opportunity for Eric Dier to go to Bayern Munich, going to link up with his mate Harry Kane out in Germany. Thomas Tuchel was speaking about Dier today, saying he can be used as a right centre-back, a left centre-back, in a back three, or even potentially as a six as well, which he played many years ago for Tottenham. So, you know, when they're talking so openly about him, that is a good indication of the deal being done. I think him arriving in Germany is a pretty good indication of the deal being done. So, look, brilliant move for Eric. Obviously, this will bring a close to nearly, it's coming up on 10 years, I think, of service to Tottenham. I think it'll be 9.5 years he'll be leaving at. So 6 months shy of 10 years. And although, you know, the latter part of his Spurs career probably didn't go as he'd wanted, and a lot of the performances and form maybe deserted him, there's no doubt, you know, he was a big part of the Tottenham rebuild under Pochettino, and one of many good years at the club. And, you know, Castro, he's a player who has said he at the end of his career, or his end of his life, he wants his ashes spread over the Tottenham Stadium. I remember him saying that. I remember there was a video very early on when he was, I think, in his second season, when he was questioned about the word Spursy, and he said, you know, we hear a lot of people saying that, and, you know, we don't like it. We're not Spursy. We're going to prove to everyone that that word is not in our vocabulary, kind of thing. He was a guy who really got what it meant to be a Tottenham player, and he was a big part of that Tottenham rebuild at the early stages. Obviously, sometimes in everyone's career, there's always a time where everyone, you know, has to move on and go their separate ways, and now has come that time. But I definitely don't think he deserves any disrespect. He deserves a lot of respect for how he's been over the last 9.5 years, and I wish him the best of luck.
Yeah, I wish him the best of luck as well. Obviously, his time, like you said, the time had run out. What we had recently was we kept players long past their sell-by date, whether it was through the player not wanting to go or for other various reasons. But it looks like that door is closing now with the players going out. He'll be joining not only Harry Kane in joining a German club, but will be having his baby in Germany. Obviously, Harry Kane as well. So there's a new kid to bring into the world there. And listen, wish him all the best. I think when he had the season in defensive midfield under Poch, that was the best version of Eric Dier we saw. He had a couple of seasons with a couple of managers where he was putting in solid performances. I remember a time with Conte when we were like, oh my God, Dier is injured. Our defence is screwed. And now he's gone. I wish him all the best. His time had run out at Spurs, but you just got to look. He's another one that, against Arsenal, did the Rafa van der Vaart and ran over to the fans and shushing them. You're right. He did understand what it was to be a Spurs player. He was not good enough by the end of his time, but now he's gone. I wish him every success in what he's doing. But his time was up. and the last few seasons has put a stain on it. But he leaves.
Yeah, go on.
No, I was just about to say he leaves, and I wish him nothing but success at Bayern.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're set to get 3.5 million for him as well. So getting a bit of a fee from Bayern Munich, which is really, really good, especially for a player who's about to leave in 6 months' time. Gets the wages off the books as well. Gets a foreign player, I think, in our foreign squad list out the door as well, albeit Dragutin. Well, actually, Dragutin doesn't count as a foreign player because he's under 21, essentially, so he wouldn't actually count. But yeah, I just think it's a win-win for everyone, and he looks very happy, doesn't he, Brian? You saw him getting out that car. He does look delighted, and maybe it's a bit of a relief for him because he knows that he hasn't been in his best form for a while. The Tottenham fans don't want to see him in the lineup anymore. He's being played behind Emerson and Davis, as centre back, and that can't do him any good in like his mental well-being and all that kind of stuff. It can't do him any good from that point of view. So I think it's a relief for him. It's good for us, and Bayern, got the player they wanted essentially. So win-win everywhere, and I wish him the best of luck, and we'll see what the future brings for him. I'm intrigued to see how he does get on at Bayern, if he does get a lot of game time there, or if he's going to be warming the bench. But we'll have to wait and see. Next story is going to be tomorrow. Go on. Yeah, go on.
Well. Just based on like what you said about the happy. I mean, we saw, I think it was a few weeks or a few months ago, that video that got leaked with him saying don't put it out on it won't get put out on where he looked really, really low. Personally, forget the footballing aspect, take the human aspect of it. He looked at a very low point in his career, and it was affecting him. And like you said, he gets out of that people carrying by Munich, and you can see the smile there for all to see. It was the right time. It's the right time for him to leave us as a player. Right time for him to get a move. And it looks like he's got a spring in his step again. And let's see what he does at Bayern.
Yeah, absolutely. Next story we're going to be talking about is Jed Spence, and he has arrived at Genoa to undergo his medical as well. Romero confirms Spence undergoing medical tests at Genoa. Buy option worth 10 million euros, not mandatory, and up to the club in June. Spurs will cover 100% of the wages as part of the Dragutin agreement. And again, there's a video of Spence arriving in Genoa. We'll get that up. We'll play that. It's from Gianluca Damasio. This is Spence arriving in Genoa last night for his medical. Doesn't quite have the smile on his face that Eric Dier has, but I'm sure he is delighted to join Genoa on loan, and hopefully that'll be a good move for him. They play a back three system, with wing backs who like to advance up the pitch. Maybe that will help his attacking exploits. This is his third loan move now. I don't think anyone would have really thought that when we signed him last summer, 2 summers ago now. Sorry, no one really thought, inside. What is it, 18 months? He's only been in the club 18 months, right? Who no one really thought... Summer of 22. Months. Yeah. So no one really thought he'll be entering his third loan spell after 18 months. Everyone thought he would, be in the first team and being a big part of the team. It hasn't obviously happened like that. So for you, is this like a last chance saloon, or is that ship even sailed for you when it comes to chances?
First of all, yeah, you can tell his demeanour. He didn't look. I mean, judging by body language and facial expression, he weren't as happy as Eric Dier was. He needed the move. Hopefully, this time he'll be able to prove himself and get some regular game time. The thing I'm most happy about with this entire deal is that buy option of 10 million means we're prepared to take a hit. We know over years gone by, it's more money or the same money. It looks like we're prepared to take a hit. All right, I think it's 5 million. We got him for 15 in the end, wasn't it? 15 with add-ons something or whatever. Like that, yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're prepared to take a hit. And listen, this is another guy that needs, after the reports coming out that his attitude may have been an issue at Leeds, these kind of things stick for a while. And if you've got a bad reputation, it takes a lot of time to change it. So hopefully he can let his football do the talking. And this could be a breakthrough moment for him.
Yeah, I really hope so, because at the moment, if this doesn't work out, he's going to be struggling again to find another club at this point, because he's rattling through clubs very quickly. He's basically, pissing a lot of people off, essentially, it seems, a lot of different clubs. And I think he really needs to get his career back on track, and hopefully this loan spell can really help him. But we'll see. It's not going to be an easy loan move for him. They're not, they're a mid-table Serie A team. He's going to have to work very hard defensively to really satisfy the manager there. But hopefully, playing in a back three and having the opportunity to get forward on the right-hand side, he can show off his best qualities, and that's what I'm hoping for him, but we'll have to wait and see.
Another thing you got to about him is you look at it, he's 21. Footballers have brilliant careers. If you get to the level Jed Spence is right now, you have incredible careers.
He's 24, I think, now.
Okay, 24. You still have incredible careers. This guy is he's gone to France, he's gone to Italy, getting paid handsomely for it. We would dream, all of us as supporters would dream to say, I'm going away on business to do this and that and learn other cultures and everything. I just hope he doesn't blow this opportunity. I really don't.
I completely agree. Next up, we're going to be talking about Romero. Now, there was... I think Charlie Eccleston said that Romero yesterday hoping to be back for the Man United game and seems to be recovering well from his hamstring. Well, Dan Kilpatrick has confirmed this morning Romero is back in full training and in contention for Spurs' visit for Man United on Sunday following his hamstring injury. He did touch on Lo Celso as well, who said he's expected to miss the game with a muscle injury sustained in the FA Cup win over Burnley. But we'll focus on Romero for this one. Really, really great news that he's back in full training. I don't know if it's a coincidence that Dragason's coming in and all of a sudden he's fit and available and wanting to be picked, and maybe he's worried about losing his place. But it's really great news. All of a sudden, against Burnley, we started with Emerson and Davis, and now with United around the corner, we have all three centre-backs fit and available and ready to pick from, and all of a sudden looking a lot healthier. So really, really great news. And but for you, he's had this injury. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see how how he is in training and stuff, and how sharp he looks. But if he's 100% fit but maybe not looking his sharpest, do you maybe throw in a Dragusin, or do with Romero being our vice captain and a big part of our team, do you say, look, he's got the experience to deal with that and just throw him straight in?
Yeah, before we talk about the selection, what you got to see, what a difference this is making this time around, because players are literally busting their gut to get back in because A, they know there's competition, and B, because it's a great place to be again. The last season, the season before, you probably had the dog ate my homework. I left my PE kit at home and all those just to try and get out of playing because it was so toxic and so bad. Now everyone just wants a piece of the action. For me, when it comes to Romero, as much as I'd love him to play, I really want the FA Cup. I really, really want the FA Cup. And I would rather, if it was me making the decision, I would see how he is in training, obviously, and Ange will know best. But if it was an extra week to make sure he's absolutely tip-top and ready for or not a week, whatever the Man City game is, I would go for that game. That's the game I'd kind of pencil in, as that's where you go straight back into the first team. But I'd rather have Dragusin in, and then if it's not working out or he's not used to Premier League, we sub him, you bring a Romero on, than the other way round. So for Romero, I would probably say the Manchester City one.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I don't think you want to be bringing Romero on if he's not 100% fit, because I don't think you want to bring Dragusin on off the bench. If Romero's pulling up, or if Romero's not 100% fit in the United game, if he's struggling, I'd much rather it be the other way around. If Dragusin, give him a go, give him that experience as well, let him make his debut. And if there is some trouble and he is struggling, then you always have that Romero who can come on, play half an hour or so, to see out the game. And if he's not struggling, then brilliant, you've got another option there, and it's someone who's ready to play. So I think that's probably the best way to go about it. But I do have a feeling that Ange will chuck Romero straight in, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, I said it yesterday. you can see it two ways because Ant has done it in two different occasions, different things. So when Bentancur was coming back, you know, he chucked him in only for an hour and said, "Look, you can play an hour, and I'll take you off after an hour." So he's showed he's willing to play a player who's not 100% to get minutes in his legs. But then again, you know, you've got to cast your mind back to the beginning of the season, first day of the season. Van de Ven had signed a couple days before the Brentford game, and he chucked him straight in the team, didn't he? He had no worries about him being ready. He was like, "Look, you're going straight in." So there's two ways you could do it.
The other concern I have with it, Sim, is obviously Van de Ven looks like he's set to play. I think we can all comfortably say that, and obviously he hasn't played for a long time as well. So should he pull up? Then again, if Romero's on that pitch, then you're talking bringing Dragusin on again, inexperienced. I'd much rather Dragusin starts with Van de Ven, and then we can see how both are doing. You've got Romero if Van de Ven's tiring, and also you've got it the other way. If Dragusin is struggling with the adaptability of the league, you then bring a Romero on. So I'm hoping he'll go Van de Ven, Dragusin, but who knows? Like I said, he may chuck Romero.
He may do. Next up in not so good news on the injury front is Ben Davies. Ali Gold, speaking on his YouTube channel, said yesterday that the initial time frame for Ben Davies seems to be around 4 to 6 weeks with his hamstring injury. So not great news for Benny D, unfortunately. He's obviously been such a great stand-in over the last few weeks and performed really well. But look, and thankfully, it's in a weird way, it's good timing because, you know, we're getting our centre-backs back and Udogi's fit and available. But it's just a shame for him because he's playing so well, and to be out for that period of time will be frustrating for him.
Yeah, it will be. And like you said, this man deserves a lot of credit and a lot of respect. He, for the time that we had needed him, may not obviously be of the quality of the others, but I think he's getting a lot of hate and a lot of stuff thrown his way when we know what we get with Ben Davies. We know what his attributes are. We know what his strengths and weaknesses are, but we'll always do everything he can for the best of the team. And it's brilliant that we got the defenders coming back. And you'd think that Davies wouldn't have got in. Let's be serious here, but he deserves a lot of respect for the work he's done and a valued squad member. And hopefully he'll be back and able to help the squad soon.
Absolutely, and also in a weird way, we're losing our backup left back as well in Davis, but we're also gaining one in Sessegnon as well. So it's kind of like each base is covered. We're losing a centre back in Davis, but we've got our centre backs back, and we're losing a backup left back, but we're getting one in Sessegnon. So the timing, he's timed his injury, even his injury, he's timed. He does work for the team, so he's timed it to perfection. But look, hoping him a speedy recovery for Ben Davies. Yeah. Next story is quite an interesting one. This is coming from Ali Gold in regards to Jack Clarke, and obviously Jack Clarke is now a Sunderland player, playing really, really well actually in the Championship. And to be fair to him, really proving a lot of people wrong in terms of whether he really become that winger up in class. You know, he was at Leeds, albeit he's still only doing the Championship, but having a great season, 12 goals so far this season for Sunderland and 2 assists. And he has been subject to a lot of interest this January, with obviously West Ham having their own injury problems this January. They're looking potentially at bringing Jack Clarke for about 20 million. And if Jack Clarke does get sold this January, there is interesting news that Spurs do have inserted a 25% sell-on clause in the Jack Clarke deal, according to Ali Gold. So if West Ham do buy him for 20 million, Spurs will be getting about 5 million of that, which is quite hefty. So the better Jack Clarke does, the better for Spurs, and it's a classic Levy move, though, isn't it? Even when we're selling a player who hasn't worked out, put a bit of a clause in. We did the same with Marcus Edwards, didn't we? We have a clause in his deal as well. So I hope he does get a big move.
First of all, delighted for Jack Clarke. Delighted. We all knew that it wasn't the right time for him to come to Spurs. Can you imagine if he'd been here now? Like if the age we'd signed him, but now. And we look at what's going on with Alfie Devine, Ashley Phillips, and what it looks like is happening with our young prospects. If we'd had him at the age we signed him now, I think it may have been a different story for his Tottenham journey. But he went away to Sunderland. He's worked damn hard, and he is doing exceedingly well. And never doubt a clause in a player going out of contract ever. And we could be coming into some money, which is always welcome.
Yeah, definitely. So look, I'm wishing Jack Clarke all the best, that's for sure. It'll be interesting if he does go to West Ham, though. Obviously, one of our rivals, and I wonder how he'd do there. But obviously, West Ham at the moment, Bowen, Paquetá, and Kudus all unavailable for them, so they're desperate for players through the door. So it'll be interesting to see if they push the button on Jack Clarke. And next, the last story, we're talking about Fabio Paratici, and this is an interesting story from Jack Pickbrook talking about Fabio Paratici's influence at Tottenham, still being very strong even with the FIFA ban. He starts off by saying, to make clear, Paratici's consultancy role is entirely above board, given that he successfully appealed the extent of his ban last April. So it was narrowly defined in Vision to Perennia, rather than the full fat football ban that he was originally given. And he goes on to say that Paratici pushed for the signings of Madison and Alejo Veliz in the summer, and the signing of Vicario was approved by Paratici, although ultimately Postecoglou chose him ahead of other candidates for the role, and it's the same applied for Mickey van der Ven as well. And apparently he also was very heavily involved in advising on Dragusin as well, given that he was the one who brought Dragusin from Romania to Juventus when he was in charge there. So very interesting, and stuff about Paratici. And what's interesting as well is, when he left Tottenham back in April, obviously a lot of people were saying, well, there was a bit of a debate, was he good for us, was he bad for us? I think most people fell on, decided he was good, but there were some misses there. There was jury was a bit out, basically. But now you look back at his the work he's done. You look at the team we have now with, especially the likes of Udogi and Pat Matissar fully fledged into the squad. And Kulusevski and Bentancur being some of our main players as well. You have to acknowledge that. And then you look at the signings that he's advised on. You have to say he's done a wonderful job, and you have to look at the team, and it's the work he's done, especially the work for the future, has been quite astounding.
I think outstanding is I don't even know the word to describe the influence that this man has had. Astonishing would be one of them. The impact he's had. When he first came in, I was a little bit suspect. I thought, who's the other, the one that Jose Mourinho's used before, the young guy? There was at Monaco, I can't remember his name, the other director of football that finds the young gems. Can't remember his bloody name. Go on.
I can't remember. I'm thinking of his assistant manager, Sacramento. It's not him, but
not him. There was another agent. I can't remember his name.
Not Paul Mitchell.
No, not for Tottenham. There was a guy that went to Monaco as the director of football as well. Always found young talent and unearthed brilliant stars, and I really wanted him. And
Luis Campos.
There we go, Luis Campos. That's the one I thought that we should have gone for our model that we're doing of finding young stars and identifying them and selling them. I thought he was perfect. We went this way with Paratici, and Jesus Christ, it paid off.
Yeah.
There's no way. There's no other way to look at it. This man, I just hope that once his ban is over, how the length of it, that he's back and officially with Spurs and given whatever contract he bloody well wants, because this guy is unearthing absolute gems. And it also seems that at long last as well, we heard that Conte and Paratici were arguing or not arguing, but not always aligned with players. It sounds like there is an understanding with Postecoglou. I mean, how can you not agree with everything Postecoglou says? If Postecoglou told me tomorrow was Sunday, I'd probably agree with him. So yeah, Paratici's influence has been absolutely 12 out of 10. He's been absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, and I think especially his work with the younger players that have been ones for the future. Twice he's signed players, loaned them back, and looked ahead in their careers, and now they're big parts of the team. And you just got to commend that. And look, that makes me even more excited for the Draxton deal as well, potentially coming this January. And hopefully, this is another player who can really settle in as well as the other players who we've bought recently. And I think the influence of Partii is still very strong at Spurs, and I think he's doing extremely well. And I think we're benefiting massively for it. So I want to know your opinions in the comment section below about everything we've discussed today. Again, go check out Brian Daigle at Tottenham on Tour if you want to see more Tottenham content. The link will be in the title of the video. But that is all we got for today's Tottenham update. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.